Okay, so the Lubavitcher Rebbe, he's really taking this thing seriously. The Mashiach is going to come, and it's supposed to come right now. And we're supposed to be tremendously disappointed that the Mashiach is not here right now. And any second Mashiach is going to arrive. And what's Mashiach going to do? He's going to heal the whole world. He's going to make the whole world reveal all of its potential for good. Every human being will reveal their potential for good. No one will think negatively. No one will speak negatively. No one will act negatively. And the reason is because the good in every human being will be revealed. It'll start to be dominant. And people won't feel I've got to steal, I have to kill, I have to get angry, I have to get addicted, I have to take some sort of a drug in order to just, pass the time away or whatever it is. That's my purpose in the world, is to, to steal and to lie and to kill and to murder and to this. People will stop. People will stop, and the world will start to be a good, positive world. Like I said so many times before, the world can get along very well without addictions and without wars and without disease and without famines. And what are all the doctors? The Rebbe said, what are all the doctors going to do if there's no more disease? The doctors will be busy telling people that they're healthy. People won't, because people still have free will, and people do everything they can to hurt themselves. Everything here, look at the woke movement in America, is just designed to just destroy themselves, to destroy the family, to destroy society, to destroy birth, to destroy. And the world can get along very well without these destructive, negative forces. Okay, so that's what Mashiach is going to do. Somehow or other, he's going to take the Egypt out of us. He'll change man. That man will start acting like man and stop acting like animals. I mean, and man acts worse than animals. I don't think animals have neuroses and psychoses and all sorts of self-inflicted psychological ego trips. So that's what Mashiach is going to do. He's going to make the world into a good, positive world. In order that every single Jew here we go. Every single Jew. Now, this whole thing depends on the Jews, right? God took the Jews out of Egypt. God took the Jews through the desert. God gave the Jews the Torah. The Jews. God, the creator of the whole universe and all of the planets and all of the angels and all of the whatever it is, unidentified flying objects and aliens or whatever you want to call it. God creates the whole business all the time. And God chose the Jews. Huh? I mean, if God can create amoebas or whatever they're called, aardvarks or something, if God can create all these things, so it means that God has an ability to articulate himself. Huh? What are you talking about? Anyway, one of the essence things that God did is he chose the Jews and he gave the Jews, millions of them, the Torah. There were like 600,000 Jews that got out of Egypt just from the age of 20, I guess, to 50 or to 60, whatever. And all the elders, that's not counting the elders and the children and the women. So there's like 3 million Jews. So all of them saw, and all the other religions, there's one person, a little group, right? They saw something, godliness, they saw a miracle, they saw the raising of the dead. They saw a little group, or one person. He came with the visitation of the message from the Lord, from the angels, from the whatever it is. And here the Jewish people, all of them, they all saw God. God chose them. And what did he choose the Jews for? To improve the world, to tell the non-Jews how much God loves them, is creating them. How valuable, precious the world is. The goal of life is not to go to heaven. And everybody is sinners and they're all going to burn and they're going to this if they don't believe like I believe. The world is a good place and everyone is essentially good. And Mashiach is just going to reveal the good which is hidden inside of every human being and the good which is hidden inside of the world. But first of all, it has to come through the Jews. And in order for the Jews to have the power to receive all these blessings and revelations of the Mashiach, which that means me and you, if you're Jewish. I think a lot of non-Jews also watch these classes. Not enough. I mean, I would like it if I would like to build up the viewers to at least 3 billion. Why not? There's how many people? Billion? There's 9 billion people in the world. There's no reason why the majority of them can't be watching these classes. Let's go. I guess maybe they don't have Zoom. Zoom will be happy again. 9 billion subscribers. In order that every single Jew should have the power to receive this revelation of Moshiach, of the good and godliness which is hidden inside of each one of us. We have to have me'ayin, then we have to simulate in ourselves what we said before, these 3 aspects of Aleph. And for those who are just coming in now, the exile, this terrible exile that we are in now, where nobody knows what's right and wrong, and nobody feels that there's a creator, and there's, the selfishness is dominant, right? That's called Gola. And in order to change that whole thing, turn on the lights, you have to just put the letter Aleph into the exile, and that transforms the whole thing into Geula. You leave the exile as it is and put the letter Aleph in, turn on the lights, and all of a sudden the whole thing transforms. What are we supposed to do, said the Rebbe? This letter Aleph signifies 3 things. It signifies much more, but 3 things the Rebbe talked about. First of all, to know that there is a king of the universe, Aluf Shalom. Also to know that there's a purpose to the universe, the Torah. The Torah, that's Aleph means to teach. And also to let you know that God will be involved personally in the world. That's Pele. We'll see big miracles. So first thing, to know that the world is a creation and that God is creating it. He's the master. And number 2, to know that there's a purpose to the world. And that's the Torah, to teach us. That's Aluf. That's another meaning of Aleph. And then to find out, to see big, huge miracles that are awaiting us when the world is a proper vessel for them, bigger miracles than going out of Egypt. That's the word Pele, same words as Aleph, but backwards. Pele. Pele means miracles. And since that in every single Jew there is a spark of Mashiach, therefore each and every Jew has to say the Yekayem Banu. It's when we take out the Sefer Torah in the holidays. So it said, may it be fulfilled in us the sentence of Isaiah, where it says that there will rest upon him the Spirit of God, etc. So simply it means that the Mashiach will come and we'll see this person that the Spirit of God is resting upon, right? Is resting on. But that's not what it says. It says that inside of us, it should be within us, this feeling of there's a Spirit of God, and it is wisdom and it is understanding, namely kingship, 3 things of Aleph. That God is a king, kingship. Then also Mochin, Ashayachim Lamidot. There's a reason for the world. Reason for the world. Logic, that's the Torah. Mochin, intellect, which is relevant to the world. Midot are the 7 days of creation. And then there's going to be big miracles. Mochin be'etzem, the essence arousal of God, a revelation of the Creator in the creation. Huh? That's the way it was supposed to be. When God created the world, that's what the Bible tells us. God created the world. The world was heaven on earth. God put man in Gan Eden. It was heaven on earth. What's heaven? Heaven means you see and feel the Creator in the creation. You see and feel the Creator in the creation. That's where God put man. And he put man here to improve it, to make it better. So that's why we're here, not just so that there's a king of the world, and not just so there's a purpose in the world, but to reveal the Creator in the creation. But to reveal that purpose. But even more, okay, that's what we're waiting for. We don't know how amazing miracle this world is. By the way, that's a good way to get through the day. This is what I do. If you look at every second, that it's a big gift. Every second instant is a big gift. You can't take anything for granted. Every second of life Every tree you see, every breath of wind, every grain of sand, everything that there is a gift from God. Everything. Then that, true, there's tragedies in the world and there's difficulties in the world, but that at least gives you a possibility to deal with the bad things in the world. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. The world is 99.9% bad, but there's one little point of good in it, that it's all a gift. It's all a gift. Maybe it's a terrible gift. I don't want a gift like that. There's the disappointments, there's diseases, and there's pain, and it's true. But when you start to feel, but it's all a gift from God. Somehow or other, there must be something I don't understand over here. But the basic principle is, it's not just me against the world. Right? It's not me against the world. It's me and God for the world. We're here in order to fix up the world. Everything is a big gift, and it's being given to me to fix it up. Oh, a birthday present. Here you are, Grandpa. We bought you a birthday present. What is it? It's a puzzle, a 900,000 piece puzzle. And you look, it's like this whole big, huge bag. So, but there's more than 900,000 pieces in there. It says, yeah, look at the instructions. There are more than 100 million pieces in here. You have to get rid of the bad pieces and put the good ones together. Good luck. Right? And that's what the world is. To put the whole thing together, but it's good. It's a gift. The whole thing is a gift. And we're here to fix it up. We have the power to do it. That's what it says. Therefore, in order that we should be able to accept Moshiach and to be ready and attune ourselves and to do what we have to do, as this, we can say, is hinted at in the Pirkei Avot, the chapter of the Fathers. We're going to say this coming Shabbat. And it says 4 things. Who is a wise person? Who is a powerful person? Who is a rich person? And who is an honorable person? That's what it says. Who is a wise person? It says one who sees the outcome. Who is a powerful person? One who can control himself. Who is rich? One who is happy with what he has. That's what it says. Who is honored? One who honors others. Okay, let's have a look. Nevertheless, it says 4 things. You want to prepare yourself for Mashiach, get in tune. So you have to, these 4 things are hinting at it. Wisdom, power, richness, and honor. It's known that this corresponds to the 4 levels that are divided in the 10 Sfirot. The 10 Sfirot are like the 4 letters of God, the 10 powers of the soul. That corresponds to the 4 letters of God's name. That's these 4 things. Who is wise? That's Yud of God's name, Chachma. Who is powerful? That's Bina, the 2nd letter, the Hey of God's name. Who is rich? That's the 6 emotions, Tiferet, all of the emotions. Who is honorable? That's Malchut, the lowest aspect of God. That's the last Hey. Okay, because every single Jew has inside of him a portion of the essence of God within him. And even more, it says that the Jewish people are all a portion of God. Sentence in the Torah. Chelek Hashem Amo. The Jewish people are a portion, a part of God. I mean, you can translate it to say Chelek Hashem Amo, that the Jewish people, they were like God's, portion, like his place where he lives, this is my lot where I live, my address of God. But that's not exactly what it says. It says the Jewish people are a part of God. Chelek Hashem, a part of God, are his people. And every single Jew has what's called a part of God from above. It's a sentence in Job, right? It says in the Tanya, that's the 2nd chapter of the Tanya, but it's also a sentence in Job. Job. Where is it? I don't know. I thought it was. Okay, it's a sentence in Job. So every single Jew, therefore, the Jewish people are a part of God, and the Jewish soul is a part of God, every single individual. Therefore, just like God has 4 letters to his name, and these 4 letters correspond to four different aspects of God, is also the same thing in every single Jew. There are these four different letters of godliness, and that corresponds to four different aspects of the soul. Therefore, inside of these four letters of Yud and then Hey, Vav, He are also the four letters of Aleph, Elohah. Okay, so first of all, we have that God is four letters of Elohah, Aleph, Lamed, Vav, Hey. Another name of God, that God is the Elohim, He is the King of the world. That's the lowest Hey. That's the lowest letter. Alufa Shalom. And also the name of Yud Ke Vav Ke. This is godliness which is above the world. When we pray, the name of God is usually not, it's not written. It's not written down. Sometimes it says Hey, sometimes it says Hey Vav, whatever. Sometimes it just says Dalid. But really the name of God, in essence, of these four letters of Yud, and then Hey, and then Vav and Hey, you're not supposed to say it. The reason we don't say the name of God, and when we write the name of God, we write it like with a dash, even with G-D, is because it's there to show us that God is not a thing. It's not a thing like every other thing that has names on it. Right? When you say a name for a thing, a dog, cat, a tree, George, Fred, it's talking about a thing, a defined object that has a name. But God is not a defined object. God is infinite. And the names of God are just how God relates to the world, because the world is important to God. But God is not a thing. Don't think that God is, like they always ask the question, well, God creates the world. Who creates God? God is not in the category of being created. God is just the creator. God does not exist in any way. That's what we were just learning. The angels are going crazy because God's existence is totally out of the realm of existence. They know that their existence comes from God's reality. In the world, there's no such thing. There's no such thing as creation in this world. You can take one thing and rearrange it, take notes and make music. You can take colors and make a picture, right? You can take sand and make it into blocks of cement, whatever. But you can't create something from nothing. There's no such thing as nothing in this world. Well, God is nothing. He's not a thing. That's why when we say God's names, so we don't take it lightly. And there's a certain name of God, this name Yud Ke Vav Ke, which we don't say at all. And the other names we say only when we're praying, or we're learning. In any case, the two main names of God is how God's name is written, that's Yud Ke Vav Ke, and how God is said. We say Elohim or Adonai, we say. And the service of every Jew is to reveal all of these four things in the world, the four letters of God's name, the lower name of God, the higher name of God, and these four letters of God's name that correspond to these four things, which you said are wisdom, power, richness, and honor. We'll see what this means. Let's see. These should be revealed in every single Jew, first of all, in a way that Chassidut and only Chassidut explains. And this is how we're going to bring Mashiach. We're getting down to the details here. And by means of this, that is revealed, these four aspects of godliness. We said wisdom and power and richness and honor, the four letters of God. By means of this, it makes the king, God is the king of the world, makes the king revealed in a complete way. The revelation of the throne of God, and the throne of God has what's called four legs. Like it says, King Solomon sat on the throne of God. And similarly, there is in every single Jew. Because the Jewish people are the sons of kings. or even more, the Jewish people are kings, every Jew. And that's another reason why people hate the Jews. Why? Because the Jews are like men from Mars. They're like strangers. They're like aliens. What are they doing here? The Jews are the chosen people. We're chosen by God. But what are we chosen for? We're chosen to heal the world, to reveal the goodness in every detail of the world. But nevertheless, we're chosen. So if so, every Jew is totally different from everything else in the world. We want to call it public servants. We're the servants of everybody. We're here to serve the whole world. But we have to do it on God's terms. And until that, by means of this, Jewish people, that makes them relevant to honor, the last of the four letters, that this is the honor of God, glory, the honor of God. So there's wisdom, wisdom. Who said, who is wise? Wise, power, richness, and honor. Let's start from the lowest of them. Honor. What does it mean, honorable? Honorable means, excuse me. Honorable means to know that God is a king and that we are the sons of kings. And even more, we are in the image of God. We are kings. That inside of every Jew is the honor, the glory of the King of the universe. How much more so? It says it says that when a king of the non-Jews now there's no kings anymore. When there used to be kings, it says Jews should go and run and see the kings of the non-Jews. When I guess maybe the last genuine king that there was in the world was the Tsar. I don't think there's any more kings anymore. The kings used to have like absolute power. There was no parliament or anything to the so it says you should run and see a king. If there's a king, you should run and see him. Why? Because the king has some sort of glory to him, and that's hinting at how glorious God is. When there was a king, the king was like everybody fell down on their faces in front of the king. The king, who was awesome. The king had more money, more power, more everything, wisdom, supposed to be, than anybody else in the kingdom. It was just a totally different type of a human being. That's a king. And ideally, that's supposed to be what every Jew is. How much more so, for instance, if we look at the kings of the non-Jews, that we say, when you see a king of the non-Jews, you're supposed to say a blessing. I don't think you do that anymore. The blessing that you gave from your glory to humans. You're supposed to say a blessing when you see a king. How much more so, Allah has kama v'kama, by means of a king that is relevant to the Torah. Until every single Jew, it says, has a portion of the Torah, letter in the Torah. All, it says, all of your sons are learning the Torah of God. And who are the sons of God? Who are the sons of God? The rabbis. Because they learn the Torah. They have the Torah inside of them. And by means of this, you reach to making God a honorable, a king. And to this, you reach the highest aspect of kingship, which is wisdom of kingship. That was King Solomon. He was a king, and he was also tremendously wise. Until the completion of kingship, which that's all four things: Chacham, wise king, powerful king, rich king, and honorable king. So it is also this, and the kingship in each and every Jew, and the kingship has four legs to it. And that's the idea of sitting down, coming down into the world. The Yeshiv Shlomo, that King Solomon sat on the throne of God. What does it mean? That he brought this into the world. And to add on, that by means of this is drawn down also the head of the king also comes below. When the king sits down, the whole entirety of the king comes down. And therefore, the world gets a more connected to the king. And the feet of the king becomes elevated on the footstool of the king, by means of drawing down godliness from above to below and elevating the below, the world. That's like the footstool, lifting it from below to above. This joins godliness, which is above the world, to miracles of the world, revelation of the essence of God in the world. So here we have the three things. First of all, realizing that we are kings and that we're here in order to benefit the kingdom, which is the world. And the way of doing that is through the Torah. And then there will be big miracles. That's the wonderful. That's the three aspects of the Aleph that we said before. Aleph means that God is the Aluf or Shalom. He's the king. Aluf Chachma, he will teach us. That's the Torah. And then the glory of Hashem will be revealed in this infinite, I'm saying glory, infinite, infinity of God. That's Pele. That's miracles. Okay, so that's the four letters of God's name. The four letters of God's name correspond to these, the four letters of the Moshiach is going to be revealed. And the four letters which are inside of the soul of every Jew, that's the Moshiach in the soul of every Jew. And that depends on us revealing these three things of the Aleph. God is a king. God is the teacher. There's a reason. King Solomon was wise. And then above all is big miracles will happen. Big miracles. The niflot in the world. That's the Aleph. And all of this will be revealed in this physical world. Listen, that's what everybody wanted. Communism succeeded amazingly. Communism is just an idea. It's just an idea. And it succeeded amazingly in convincing hundreds of millions of people that it was possible that there could be equality, and it's possible that there wouldn't be any more, oppression in the world. And it's possible that everybody's needs would be provided for. These are wonderful things. Everybody wants there to be equality and that everyone's needs will be provided for. There was a whole saying that you'll work according to your ability and you'll receive according to your needs. That's wonderful. Everybody's abilities will be revealed, and everybody will donate and participate in the world according to their ability. And everyone is unique, and all of the abilities will be revealed of everyone in the world. You'll be free. There won't be any more class oppression, and the rich people won't oppress the poor people, and you'll reveal all of your potential. Communism, wonderful. I mean, it failed terribly. It failed miserably. It failed tragically. I mean, it killed millions of people, hundreds of millions of people were killed by communism. But the ideas were amazing. Well, all those ideas and goals, that's what Moshiach is going to do. And the reason that communism, one of the reasons that it failed so tremendously is because it left God out of the picture. It left God out of the picture as though that we can decide what's right and man can decide what's proper, and the government will decide who needs what and what your potential is. The government will decide, but that's a very big mistake. Very big mistake. But the ideas are good. And when God does, and God, of course, is creating us, so he's very active. So when he decides, when God decides, then the world will be, first of all, we have to know that there is a God. Also have to know that there's a Torah, there's a purpose to the world. And then we'll see big miracles. That's the letter Aleph. And that will reveal these four aspects of God that we said before. Wisdom, four aspects of God. We said, who is wise, God's wisdom, God's power, God's richness, and God's honor will be revealed in the world. Excuse me, I'm sorry. This can especially be stressed. Yeah, this can, and that's how we bring the Aleph in its three different meanings, Aluf Shel Olam and Aluf Chachma and Pele, into the Gola and making it Geula. The world suddenly becomes activated. Ubahadgasha Yatera and more. Mamadno B'Yom Shabbos, when we're now on the day of Shabbat, and the day of Shabbat, this corresponds to Malchut, that's the seventh day, corresponds to the seventh sphere of Malchut, and especially in the days of counting the Omer. In this year, when the year the Rebbe was speaking, counting of the Omer, Pesach fell on Shabbat, and so they started counting the Omer the day after Shabbat, which that's exactly what the Torah says you should do. But then Shabbat, the 7 weeks, they end as Malchut, the sphere of the Malchut, Malchut of Chesed, Gevura, the lowest, the completion of all the 7 spherot is always on Shabbat. Malchut of Yesod, it's also on Shabbat. And this Shabbat, it's going to be Malchut of Hod. That was this year. By us, it doesn't work that way exactly. Okay, but there is such a thing. Malchut as it connected to Hod. What's Hod? Hod means glory. This is like miracles, like we said before. So said the Rebbe, this was Tafshin Nun Aleph, this should be the year of miracles. And especially we said before that now we are right before, by the Rebbe, it was right after the Lag BaOmer. We are right before Lag BaOmer, 3 days before Lag BaOmer. By the Rebbe, it was 3 days after, in 1991. Lag BaOmer, which Lag BaOmer is the day of the passing away of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai lived about 1,800 years ago, something like that. 1,800 years ago, he was a pupil of Rabbi Akiva. He's buried in the city of Meron in Israel, the northern part of Israel. And every year, thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people actually go there. They always try to limit it. When there was the corona, they tried to limit it. It didn't really work. So this year, they're also trying to limit it. They're trying to say, the government is trying to limit it and say there's a war, there's going to be bombs, you can't go there. So they're trying to limit it, which all their plans, at best, are confused. At worst, a tremendous disaster. I mean, was it 4 years ago? Was it 4 years ago? But because of anyway, there's a terrible disaster that like 60 people were trampled to death over there because, all right, anyway, they never really investigated it, what happened. But it was because of the government's ineptitude. They tried to control everything and they tried to direct and divert and make ramps and blockades and things like that. They confused everybody in this. And when they just let things go the way they're supposed to go, everything comes out all right. But okay, nevertheless, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people go up to the grave of people come from outside of Israel to the grave of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. What is so special about the grave of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai? Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai wrote the book, the Zohar. He wrote the Zohar. I guarantee you 99.8 whatever percent of the people that go there have never opened the Zohar before. They don't know what it is. And if they do open up, they wouldn't understand it because it's written in Aramaic. And if they did understand Aramaic, they also probably wouldn't understand what was written in the Zohar, which the Zohar is not. There's only a couple of places in the Zohar that it's like really hardcore Kabbalah. It's really, talking about the upper worlds and etc. Really, and the rest of it is also Kabbalistic, but it's like Midrash. They say that it's a thing that anybody can learn. It's written, translated in English also. The Zohar. But if you read the Zohar, and that was really one of the reasons I became religious, that I got a copy of the Zohar in English. It's a whole long story how I got it. But anyway, I read the book. I didn't understand anything, but I understood that there's a much more to the Torah than meets the eye. The whole thing of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he revealed the inside of the Torah, the miracles of the Torah. And the main revelation was on the day that he passed away. And a tremendous revelation of godliness in the world. And like it said, by writing down these words of the Torah, these deep secrets in the book, the Zohar, on the day that he passed away. So this is revealed afterwards, all the Jewish people, in a way that it can be advertised and understanding and grasping. Now, again, just to remind everybody, the whole purpose of Kabbalah is to connect to God, to understand God and do God's commandments. If Kabbalah does not bring you to do what God wants you to do, the commandments of God, then, how do you say, join another Kabbalah club or a Kabbalah group. Because the whole thing, demand your money back. Because the whole essence of what Kabbalah is to be more enthusiastic in doing the Torah and the commandments, appreciating God, loving God with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your might, and doing the commandments. That's what it says in Shema Yisrael. For your Dvar it should be on a sign on your heart, on your arm. And the purpose of Kabbalah is that the Jewish people should do the commandments with enthusiasm. That's the purpose of Kabbalah. The only purpose of Kabbalah, right? To appreciate God and to do his commandments with love and awe and fear. Harizeh, this is revealed by means of all the Jewish people. That's what Rabbi Shimon Bar wanted to be, with understanding and seeing the miracles of the Torah, understanding of the Torah. And this is revealing, and that's what we have now in Chassidut, is revealing a little bit of the understanding of godliness of the Torah, contained in the Torah, which will be in the future. Okay, let's do this. In addition to the fact that Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he composed and he wrote a lot of the secrets of the Torah, and also in the revealed Torah, there's a lot of the Mishnah and the Talmud, he appears a lot. We can say that in the Torah itself, even in the revealed Torah, the concealed Torah, this is like the difference between the Aleph, mean teaching, and Pele, miracles. Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai joined them together. He joined the understanding of the Torah, the external of the Torah, with the internal godliness of the Torah. And we can say that with this power, that Rabbi Shimon put godliness, revealed the godliness in the Torah, namely to reveal the godliness in everything. He revealed this aspect of Pele, which that's the Aleph, and he put it into the Alufcha, the teachings of the Torah, and even into the world, which God is the Alufo Shel Olam. So therefore, it's known the saying that it says, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, Ki b'makom shegalo, with every word, the Jewish people. This is Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, where he said in the Talmud, and what does in Sukkah, in the Gemara in Sukkah. So it says it's a known thing that what Rabbi Shimon said, Bar Yochai, every place where the Jewish people were put into exile, the Shekhinah went with them. The Jewish people, the first temple was destroyed. The Jewish people went to Babylon. God's presence was with them. The second temple was destroyed, and the Jewish people went to Edom. The Shekhinah was with them. In other words, that also the Jewish people, when they were in exile, there was the revelation of the Alufo Shel Olam, the King of the universe, went with them. Similarly, also Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai said, into the whole, he said, he drew in, revealed in the whole world. And Rabbi Shimon said, Yochel ani, I am able to exempt the whole entire world from strict judgment. Shu yochel liftor et kol olam milashen, that he can exempt the world, and the word for world in Hebrew is the same for concealment, that he can remove the concealment of God from the exile. This is especially connected to Lag BaOmer, which Lag BaOmer is Hod Shebahod. This hence said, Hod means miracles. Miracle. I think we're going to do this tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow. We can attach this to Lag BaOmer because this is very special. On one hand, Hod Shebahod is the lowest of the Sfirot, Lag Shebahod. In some ways, it's the lowest, and in another way, it's the highest. It's revealing the miracle of God. That's Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, what he did. Just like Moses took the Jews out of Egypt, one person. And Abraham began the connection of God with the Jewish people, one person. And so Mashiach will convince all the Jewish people and change the whole world, one person. So Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, he connected between Moses and Mashiach. Rabbi Shimon, one person, by revealing the secrets of the Torah, as we'll talk about more, God willing, tomorrow.